way his message still got across, through the music and through the show, in which we're about to talk about in a second. All glory belongs to the Lord, man. And I'm gonna just keep saying that throughout the show, man, because I want people to know, like, no matter how gifted, talented you are, no matter who you know, what kind of connections you got, all the glory belongs to the Lord, man. So, forgive me if I sound like a broken record, but I just have to give credit to God, man.
No, 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 no. You get credit to God all day on this show, brother.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I know, man, I won't be where I was if it wasn't for him. I'm gonna tell you that
Yeah,
right now.
hey,
Tell you,
I'm
I don't give
serious, man.
nobody no credit but him,
Yes, sir.
So
Absolutely.
at the end of the day. But so what challenges have you faced in your career and how did you kind of overcome them?
Ooh, what challenges have I faced? Well, mm, I faced a whole lot of them. One of them being support. You know what I'm saying? One of them is being support. I've went through that phase. Oh man, you sound like Ty. You da da da, and you think you this, and you think like people have like literally called me and told me like, man, like you know, people gonna ignore you because you sound like this person, you sound like that person. Da, 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 da. Man, I remember I was in Greensboro, and being that we both from North Carolina, I was in Greensboro, and this one engineer, he said something that was just so powerful to me. He said, "Bro, receive it as a compliment because people are actually comparing you to greatness." I was like, whoa. Yeah, like I've never heard nobody, say that before. And so when people hear and when people see the greatness that's on your life, regardless if, you sound like another artist or this person or that person, the fact that you can be compared to greatness, that's the big deal. And so don't be offended when people are comparing you to certain people. They're just mad because they're not as great as you are. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, I've never looked at myself as, the best or this, that, and the third. I've never done that. But the fact that he came out and said that, that pretty much gave me some type of peace, on the inside, because I mean that thing was like really, it was walking with me for a minute. I was just like, man, like let me change up my style then, because I don't want to, I don't want to sound like I'm, biting or anything or copying, and I don't want to sound like that. But at the same time, it's like when you being influenced and when you study, the Bible says study to show yourself approved. When you study great people, you implement the things that you've learned because you studied for so long. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just really going through that phase, going through writer's block, trying to switch up my style so I wouldn't sound like that. But then it just came a moment. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna have to accept it and receive it. And years later, I've won a few awards. I've been nominated for a few awards here in Tampa, Florida, and prior to me moving here to Orlando, Florida. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
That's it.